everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Well, I was just reading this article from Sayer G, and he's been doing excellent research. I put a link below. You can read it. And he's pointing out something even more evidence of Harry and Meghan's involvement in censorship, and really how all of this goes back to Epstein. So really, all of this, these people who took down my tarot channel 4 times for simply saying I don't recommend taking this COVID injection. It goes back to Epstein. Freaking Epstein organized this, and I'll show you. And Meghan is right there at the top of this. Meghan and Harry are at the top of all this censorship. Finally clicked for me with this article. So if you read it, you'll see that, of course, Sayer G was also censored. He was in the Dirty Dozen list that was put out. So he's and they were all targeted, as well as JFK Jr. and everything. American doctors. So he writes that the censorship machine that targeted American speech during COVID was built by the Labour Party factional operation. Morgan McSweeney and Imran Ahmed created CCDH. So Morgan McSweeney, who resigned recently after the Epstein files came out, Morgan McSweeney worked with Stammer, number one. Number two, he was trained and brought in by none other than the ambassador to the UK. And where's that picture? I had it up a second ago. Apologies. That's Morgan McSweeney there. He's Imran Ahmed's boss. And he worked for that ambassador. Oh, there's more pictures of him with Epstein there. I apologize. Not totally. What was this ambassador? Mandelson. And Mandelson, you know the picture that we've all seen recently. So Morgan McSweeney's boss is none other than this guy here, British Ambassador Mandelson, former ambassador there. He was best buddies with Epstein. And who is that next to Mandelson? This is Morgan McSweeney's boss and Imran Ahmed's boss here. Tight friends with Epstein, and he's there in the hotel room with a woman that I believe is Meghan Markle. Same body mannerism, same head, same hair. So it looks like, if we can confirm, if they take off that blocking of the face and finally show it's Meghan Markle, that would prove that the person who created CCDH, this guy created CCDH. He told Morgan McSweeney how to do it. So Meghan is here at the top with the guy who created CCDH, which led to the Dirty Dozen list, this list here, that got us all deplatformed for saying, I don't want to take a vaccine that was created by the DOD and is a countermeasure. Hi, John Jones. How are you? Yeah, hopefully nobody took it, very few. But they really pushed it, and they took down your YouTube channel. I had my channel taken down, my tarot channel taken down 4 times for simply mentioning the word vaccine. If I said the word vaccine, they took me down. And it was all because of this. It was because of this Epstein and Mandelson. They created this network. They created CCDH with Imran Ahmed and Jory Craig with ISD all together. And it looks like Meghan was there at the top with all of these from the beginning, Meghan and Harry. CCDH's founder and political patron is protege of Peter Mandelson, who is simultaneously routing confidential U.S. and U.K. government intelligence to Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, that UK intelligence that Harry wants to get, and that's why he wants that extra protection status that he wants, because he wants the intelligence, right? Epstein's network was not just criminal, it was architectural. So it goes into how they had a private global health fund, revealing institutional machinery with offshore vaccination funds, biological surveillance programs, which we see going in now with all the facial recognition and the fingerprints they want to use with everything. This all started with Epstein and his Mossad buddies there. The enforcement layer is not theoretical. It's already been deployed against named individuals. CCDH's disinformation dozen list, directly a platform deplatforming. It was entered into foreign legal proceedings to seek an ex parte arrest warrant against a U.S.-based journalist for lawful American speech. So CCDH actually tried to get an American journalist arrested. They wanted cross-border enforcement with no due process, no extradition treaty, and no congressional oversight. This is what they were trying to do. They wanted to arrest Americans the way they're doing in the UK. Because remember, this is Stalmer, this is Mendelsohn, this is Morgan McSweeney, Imran Ahmed with Jory Craig and Archwell. Archwell paid Jory Craig from ISD money and also worked with this disinformation dozen list. The same network is now the subject of a formal FEC complaint alleging, and also they interfere with the election. As TRG, she's gone through all this, all these parts, how they interfere with our elections. It says here that it said a FEC complaint because 100 labor operatives in U.S. swing states during the 2024 presidential election, this censorship pipeline and the electoral interference pipeline share the same personnel. So it's all the same people, Harry and Meghan as well. The same infrastructure, the same assumption that British political operatives can shape American outcomes without accountability. And this is Mendelsohn, the one that Meghan was in the hotel room with in his underwear. This is him with Jeffrey Epstein on the Jeffrey Epstein yacht here. Little St. James there. Wow. All connected. So when you place the Epstein disclosures alongside the map that he's been publishing for years on Morgan McSweeney, Centers County Digital Hate, transatlantic censorship campaigns, and the weaponization of disinformation. Of course, Prince Harry all along for years now is saying, oh, disinformation is such a problem. Oh, all these people not getting their vaccines, remember? Epstein is not merely a criminal anomaly. He was the switchboard of all this. So all this led up to Epstein at the top. Harry and Meghan worked for Epstein. Morgan McSweeney worked for Epstein. Imran Ahmed worked for Epstein. Jory Craig works for Epstein. They all worked for Epstein. He was the one at the top. Mendelsohn, the ambassador, was giving intelligence, U.S. intelligence to Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was the absolute top of this pyramid. Wow. Wow. There's the map to map it all out. I'm going to have to get one of these soon just to figure out how I lost my YouTube channel 4 times. I need to make one of these maps on my wall and try to figure out who the hell's behind this. What the hell, right? And of course, Morgan McSweeney brings in Keir Starmer because he was Keir Starmer's chief of staff, his right-hand man. So Keir Starmer was involved in this with Harry and Meghan, with CCDH, in deplatforming us. And they wanted to arrest us too. Effing Starmer. Starmer wanted to come in here and arrest us. Oh my God, these people all need to be in prison now. Or worse, for the crimes they've committed. Wow. And they all worked for Epstein. They all work for Epstein, or did work for. They probably still do. Epstein's probably still alive. Yeah, they took out Jeremy Corbyn. So McSweeney started doing that. That's how they took out the power of the conservative majority. Says only 3 people besides McSweeney were allowed to work from room 216. And that was Imran Ahmed was one of them. They called him a factional spin doctor who previously served as head of communication for Angela Eagle, who ran against Corbyn. And he had a history of seeding and amplifying contentious media stories depicting labor left as a hotbed of hate, bullying, and abuse. So this guy, this pug-faced punk, who had his visa rightfully taken away, revoked, he's a shit stirrer. He's a male Meghan Markle. He knows how to stir shit in the media. That's what he does. He's a Mr. Meghan Markle, this one. And they pretty much look the same, don't they? Just put a wig on him. He looks just like Meghan. They're like twins. So that they're claiming an anti-Semitism crisis now. That's their latest one. Yeah. And of course, this guy here that was with Harry and Meghan with their Archwell with Mental Health Day. Same thing, pushing the censorship. So they're all working together and they all work for Epstein. There's Morgan McSweeney with Stormer. Unbelievable. All of them. Mandelson, McSweeney, Imran Ahmed, Jory Craig. And they're saying here that the ISD that Jory Craig works for was basically in charge of this whole group as well. They're all together. Unbelievable. And here he even has a clip of the then President Biden talking about the dirty dozen, those 12 people giving misinformation, killing people. And they were saying 60% of all misinformation comes from 12 individuals. And that is exactly the same thing that, what's his name that worked for Harry and Meghan? Christopher Bouzy. He made the same exact claim. He said 60%, was it 60% or 80% of all hate towards Meghan Markle comes from 12 or how many ever YouTube accounts he claimed they came from. Remember, said they copied Christopher Bouzy, who's obviously also with this and at the top worked for Epstein, used the same exact formula that CCDH, Morgan McSweeney, and all these criminals used to bring in censorship was under Stormer and Epstein. They used the exact same line, the exact same format of a report. I mean, Bouzy just copied the Disinformation Dozen report and took out those names and just put in Yankee Wally and, everybody else, right? Corey Taz and what's the other ones? The rest of them. They put them all in there. It was all just they just copied each other. They're just copying this formula. So Harry and Meghan took this exact formula from CCDH and tried to use it and weaponize it against us to get us deplatformed. You see, Harry and Meghan were just like I said. Meghan is a female version of Imran Ahmed. Imran Ahmed came up with a Disinformation Dozen, and then Meghan, being the female version of him, created the Bouzy report, Bot Sentinel report, alleged Bot Sentinel. It didn't really exist, in my opinion. It certainly didn't do what he claimed it did. It was just a made up thing. So Meghan, the female Imran Ahmed, made her Bouzy's Bot Sentinel report and put it on Netflix, claiming it was all scientific and 60% of the hate against Meghan comes from these 4 accounts or 5 accounts or whatever he said it was. He made up. The whole thing was just a scam and a fraud from beginning to end. And Harry and Meghan were in the thick of it. Meghan was sleeping. If that's her in the picture with the British ambassador, like I think it is, if that's her, she was sleeping with the guy at the top of this. Well, the guy next to the top, because Mandelson was working for Epstein. So this guy worked directly for Epstein, gave Epstein intelligence, US UK intelligence, and Meghan was sleeping with him. So Meghan's at the top. So I'm thinking, okay, so I want to look at this relationship because I think this is before Harry, right? So I think Meghan working with Epstein and with Mandelson probably told Meghan, we're going to set you up with Prince Harry. You got to snag him. And then using him and his prestige, I guess, as a royal, we will help us push this censorship and get people arrested in America for, hate speech or whatever ridiculousness. Yeah, Imran Ahmed is trying to sue the U.S. government. I mean, that just shows you what a criminal he is. He's going to try to fight it, but he's going to end up in prison, is where he belongs. Because he's nothing but a psychopath, obviously. And he's terrified, and he should be, because we know what he's done, and that he belongs in prison for it. And so he's trying to claim he's a victim after my channel was taken down 4 times, okay? Along with thousands of other people lost their channels as well. But just shows how abusive and ridiculous this was. They took down a tarot channel 4 times, okay? I mean, this is how off the charts. I mean, so many people, thousands, had their channels taken down. And now he's turning around, Imran Ahmed, and saying, oh, my freedom of speech is being, whatever nonsense he's trying to spin now. Because he's a spin doctor. That's what he does. He's a male Meghan Markle. So he's trying to flip the script. That's what they always do, right? After he's censored Americans, thousands of Americans, he's turning around and claiming that his freedom of speech is being hindered, right? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. He's like, he's wasting taxpayer dollars with this frivolous lawsuit. And a lot of these criminals do this. It's not uncommon. These criminals will make up frivolous lawsuits, accuse you of defamation, just to make you spend tens of thousands of dollars defending yourself, and it just gets thrown out of court. But it takes a long time to get thrown out of court, and during that time, he gets to stay in America. Because really, Imran Ahmed should be kicked out of America. He should be deported immediately and not allowed back in ever. And I don't care who he's married to. He thinks he's married to an American citizen. He's a criminal. He should be deported immediately. And the same goes for Hairball, Mr. Meghan Markle, the husband of the floozy here in the picture. He needs to be deported too. Can you believe it? Because of all these people, my tarot channel got taken down 4 times. I mean, let that sink in. How absurd and bizarre and criminal and crazy and demonic all of this is. It was such a crazy few years. It's been crazy. And they were trying to get us arrested. And they were all working for Epstein. It all goes back to Epstein. It really does. They all worked for Epstein. This is the same Mandelson that's with Meghan Markle there in the hotel room. This is him with Epstein. It all went back to Epstein. So I can really say Epstein is behind taking down my tarot channel 4 times at the end of the day, because he's the top of the pyramid of this. Isn't it crazy? I mean, this whole RICO, it's a whole organized criminal gang here, and they all need to be taken down and imprisoned immediately. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely insane what they did. They were so off the charts with this, taking down tarot channels and whatnot, and all the craziness they caused. And this was all during COVID they were doing this, right? Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Ariana. Yeah. Let's try to survive here in this criminal enterprise. But I came from true crime. I used to, I still find true crime very interesting and getting into cases sometimes. So it just so happens it's like, here I am. I'm on vacation from true crime. I'm like, I'm just going to do tarot. Okay, I'll just do Harry and Meghan. In 2018, it was like, all right, this royal couple's getting married just for fun. Let's do some tarot readings on them. And they turn out to be the biggest criminal gang I've ever like learned about. You know what I mean? I thought Nexium was big. This is bigger. I mean, Nexium may also go back to Epstein, because there's a lot of connections in Nexium to Epstein too, particularly through Richard Branson. Richard Branson hang out with the Bronfman sisters who ran Nexium, and there's pictures of Richard Branson with Epstein. So there's connections in Nexium to Epstein. And so much goes back to Epstein. It's unbelievable. And this is part of it. And Meghan and Harry are at the top of it. They are at the top of the censorship. Meghan is sleeping with the guy who is Epstein's right hand there, in charge of all this. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. TRG has a lot of videos about this, but Sayer G, this article is really good the way it connects it together as well. You know, it's good to have repetition to really get to sink in. You know, you got to read about it in multiple places. And of course, Sayer G was one of the Dirty Dozen, so he's covering this very thoroughly. Thank goodness he's an excellent journalist. So you can cover that here. So all these people need to be in prison right now. And I don't know why they're not. I don't know why they haven't been arrested. Where are the criminal? Where are the criminal investigations into all these people? I mean, they destroyed lives. They destroyed people's livelihoods. I'm sure you know there's so much damage they've done to people's mental health. You know, while they're claiming to be protecting mental health. I mean, this whole thing was so demonic and communist and unbelievable. So evil, and Harry and Meghan are at the top of it. So I was just stunned. I was just shocked to learn that Meghan Markle was sleeping with the man who was with Epstein at the top of this. That really surprised me because I knew Harry and Meghan were involved in it, but I didn't realize that Meghan was sleeping with Mandelson, who worked directly with Epstein, and that Mandelson was also the boss, basically, of Morgan McSweeney and Imran Ahmed. So the fact that they're this close networked group of people, that surprised me. I was like, damn. And of course, we have all the other connections of Meghan to Epstein. Now, I think Mandelson, I'm going to look at Mandelson and Meghan because I think Mandelson told Meghan to go get Harry, to snatch Harry as part of this plot. I think this was an Epstein plot at the end of the day. So I'm going to ask if I just ask some questions here. Like figuring out what Mandelson was having Meghan do here with all this censorship. Because obviously it's not a coincidence. None of this is coincidence. It's all one big plot. It's all one big criminal scandal, this whole thing. So let's look at the relationship of Mandelson and Meghan Markle. And if he is a creator of Centers for Countering Digital Hate, which resulted in the Dirty Dozen list, which got so many Americans the platform fired. Some Americans, Dr. Mercola, got debanked, and their employees got debanked, and they couldn't use their bank accounts. Their bank accounts were frozen because of CCDH, because of Imran Ahmed and Morgan McSweeney and Stammer. Because these people froze Americans' bank accounts because they were allegedly spreading disinformation. I mean, the fact that they got away with so much shows the corruption in all the governments. How our government, well, you saw what happened with the 2020 election. With the whole thing was a fraud, and we had the president was illegitimate, and that's why all this happened. That's why the government went along with this Dirty Dozen nonsense. This whole thing was a scam, right up to the presidency. I believe, my opinion. Anyways, not just my opinion, but anyhow, let's look at Mandelson, who worked with Epstein. And assuming that was Meghan Markle in the picture with him, which I think it was. I mean, Meghan Markle has a pretty distinctive look about her. I can't imagine that being anyone else. Yeah, so let's see. Mandelson and Meghan Markle, what was their relationship? Besides the fact that they both worked for Epstein. I want to know, did he tell her to go get Harry? Did he tell her to go snatch Harry and get married to him and then run off to America to push the censorship and try to change our election, interfere with our elections? It certainly looks like it, because that's exactly what they did. I want to know if Mandelson was the one directing her to do it. Let's find out. Was Mandelson behind telling Meghan to get Harry and to get involved in this censorship, trying to arrest Americans? Let's see what the cards show. This will be Mandelson over here, 5 of Cups, 2 of Coins reversed, and Queen of Pentacles. In the middle, the relationship, Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, Eight of Swords. And then Megan's side over here, Nine of Coins, of course, Page of Cups, Seven of Cups. Yeah, all right. So obviously a destructive couple here. Obviously they weren't a romantic couple, though they slept together, obviously. But I think it was like anything else for Megan. She was basically a prostitute, so it was just another job. And I think he'd slept with so many prostitutes. It's just a different one every weekend, no doubt. So obviously, I think that the fact that she was servicing him was a cover for him to give her directions on what to do. And don't forget with these, they would use these women as like these groups that worked for Nexium. They were training women to become like, what's the word again, honeypots and whatnot, to get secrets and to sleep with powerful men and find out secret plans and whatnot. So that's what kind of like Megan's doing here for Epstein, I think, at the end of the day. But since they both worked for Epstein, I think that their relationship was one of business, got coins and coins and coins, but also one of plots and plans here in the center with the Two of Wands. And I think that, of course, as we know, the plans were to take out our freedoms, trying to take out our First Amendment, freedom of speech there. And I'm getting an Eight of Swords reversed. So I do think Megan was part of the plan that they had together, was to get this plan out, to execute it. And I think that's why that he had her influenced her to marry Harry and become a duchess. So here's Megan, the anti-duchess. We all know Megan never had any desires or willingness, or she never even tried to be a proper royal. We all know that. She couldn't care less. She just wanted the attention. And her job was communications here, putting out the lies, and overwhelming people with her stupid puff pieces and her stupid nonsense articles with Sunshine Sachs, and just saturating the media with her nonsense. And this man over here, this is the Mandelson guy. And I do get, secretively going back and forth. He was giving intelligence, again, of the UK and the US to Epstein. So I take this as US UK. He's secretively undermining our rights. This is a very sick, twisted man, a very depressed, evil man who doesn't care because he's so sick in his own mind, and he was only greedy and after the money. Everything for him was about women and money. He just wanted to sleep around with the girls that Epstein bribed him with, and that's it, and money. And of course, that's Meghan's motivation as well. It's just money as well. So they worked very well together, and I do think did he tell her to get Harry? Did he tell her to use the Epstein connections to snag Prince Harry? I got Page of Wands reverse, Emperor reverse, overthrowing a government, putting out destructive messaging. Yeah, I think he told her to go in there and destroy not just the government, but the royal family, right? Take him out to be disruptive to it. Yeah. He told her to get him out of the royal family, to be upsetting because they wanted to overthrow the government. This whole operation was to overthrow the US and the UK governments, right? I mean, they did take over the Labour Party took over the conservative side, right? They destroyed Corbyn first, and then they came here to destroy Trump. So this was all about taking over the governments at the end of the day. They wanted the censorship to take over and replace it with all this, I guess, New World Order, communist Marxist, because Epstein was with the New World Order doing all of that in the World Economic Forum. They were all together. So this was all a part of it. So, of course, they had to have the censorship. So traitors, Harry and Meghan and Imran Ahmed and Jory Craig, Morgan McSweeney and Mandelson and Starmer, they're all here to take down all the government, the U.S. and U.K. government. and disrupt the royal family as well. So I think yes, I think he did tell him to tell her, him, her, Megan, whatever it is, to go get Harry and take him out of the royal family, be just a disruption like that, be chaos, an agent of chaos. I see this as being an agent of chaos here, getting everybody confused and upset. And remember, don't forget back in 2019, remember in 2019 when Meghan first arrived in the royal family and started claiming that all these people are racist online, and then they doxed these people on Twitter, and they put them in the newspaper with their real names and their addresses and what they did for a living. Like, oh, this is Mrs. So and so. She lives in, wherever, Camden, and she works as a waitress. And she said Megan's a whore, Remember that? Well, Megan was the first to do this crap. She was the first to dox people and try to get them in trouble, claiming they were racists. So Meghan and Harry, right from the very beginning, they were doing this. Harry, even before they were married, was claiming that, oh, the press is so racist. Oh, they're after my wife. Leave her alone. So this has been the agenda for Harry and Meghan since, it's the whole reason they got married, I believe. So let's see. Is the reason Harry and Meghan got married because they wanted to push the censorship to destroy our way of life, destroy our freedoms? The U.S. and U.K. government. Is that why Harry and Meghan got together? Let's face down. Do they realize the whole reason they got together was to work with this Epstein censorship complex? Is that why? Oh, look at that, lovers. Two of them working together, pretending to be lovers. And we all know that Meghan is not Harry's type. She's gross anyways. Oh, yeah, that their job was to get kicked out and pretend like they had to go to America to earn money. But they're part of the CIA and Mendelsohn and Epstein network. Yeah, of course, Meghan wanted to be a star. They had a long-term goal here as well. So their goal was the censorship. Was their goal the censorship? They definitely came here to work with that, work with the intelligence and the election interference, and to harm our way of life, harm people like me, taking down my channel 4 times. Yeah, they were here for the censorship. Were they here for the censorship? Is that the reason Harry's here? Is that the only reason he's here? Yeah, Harry's here to spread his misery and to make demoralized people. And I think this is a yes. You could take this as to force it on people, to be abusive, and to make money as well. And I can see this as a globalist card, the backing of Bill Gates and the other globalists, because Harry is good friends with the World Health Organization and Gates as well. So yeah, I think Harry came here to spread his misery, and of course, Harry has said that he thinks the First Amendment is bonkers. So he is here to destroy our freedom of speech, and he deserves to be in prison. He came here trying to overthrow our country with the elections, interfering. Yeah, I hope karma is coming because I haven't seen anything happening yet, and it's pissing me off. I don't know about you, but something should have happened already. It's 2026. This happened in what, 2021? How long is it going to take? Trump, arrest these people already. Enough already. We're done waiting. Yeah, and stop the mRNA injections while you're at it. Enough. Stop it. Nobody wants it. It's not happening. And just for saying that, my whole channel, my platform would be taken down. Thanks to Imran Ahmed and CCDH and all the rest of them. And it all goes back to Epstein. It all goes back to Epstein. How do you like that? How do you like them apples? So maybe I could sue Epstein too. Have a class action lawsuit against YouTube and Epstein and Harry and Meghan and Stammer and Imran Ahmed and I can think of lots of they want to do frivolous lawsuits. We could do frivolous lawsuits too. What do you think? What do you say? Let's get it together. We got some lawsuits to file. Yeah, so there you have it. I just wanted to point that out. I was shocked at all these connections and how it all goes back to Epstein and how Harry and Meghan have been there from the very beginning. And in fact, they are one of the orchestrators, it seems, one of the people who helped, bringing this whole censorship complex into being. I think Harry and Meghan were with Epstein at the top of this. So yeah. So hopefully it's coming sooner than later. Well, let's one last question. Are we gonna see Harry and Meghan? Are we gonna get this justice? We gonna get justice this year? How about this year? You get them arrested this year? Come on, this year, this year. It is gonna be explosive. Their world's gonna be turned upside down. I got that. Going downhill for them. The criminals here is my criminal card. I do see things happening, shocking things coming out this year. Oh yeah, they're gonna be. All of them are gonna be like Morgan McSweeney had to step down, right? This is Morgan McSweeney like stepping down from his post. They've all been exposed by this. So are they gonna get arrested? Let's see Starmer getting arrested, and Imran Ahmed, who wanted to arrest Americans, and they tried to get an American journalist arrested. Let's see them arrested. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, are they gonna get arrested this year? I want to see them arrested. They're gonna get arrested. Some of them are getting away. Oh, the nasties. They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight back like Imran Ahmed and claim that they're victims, right? That's always what they do. They claim they're victims. I'm such a victim. You're a racist. They're gonna come on, they're gonna get arrested. Let's go. Say yes. A happy community. Maybe I'll take that as a yes. Everybody will be happy. I think maybe that's a B. Come on, get arrested. Get arrested. He's gonna be arrested. I can take that one as a yes. Yeah, maybe they will be. I'll take this as a yes. That's all I'm getting. Some may get away, though. Like Epstein's getting away with it. I'll wait and see what happens, but can't wait. It needs to happen sooner than later. I'll tell you what. All right. So I hope you found this interesting. Thanks for watching. And I hope you have a wonderful evening, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.